We are honored to have Supervisor Lynda Hopkins here representing the county, and she's going to tell us a little bit about how the county is supporting forest management here.
It's so wonderful to see everyone in person. These kinds of events are even more precious after the several years where we all went into our own little holes and only really saw each other through screens. So thank you so much for being here this morning. I'm going to start with a thesis, which is that Sonoma County is a unicorn. And one of the fun things about my job is that I get to talk to other county supervisors, and I always try to reach out to other county supervisors who, like me, represent very rural forested districts. Now, when I talk to other supervisors who also have a lot of forests in their area, the vast majority of those supervisors are overseeing what is known as a PILT county. Does anyone know what PILT is? This is like a major, deep bureaucracy term, so I'm going to be super impressed if everyone knows PILT. I see Fred. All right, you want to say it? Excellent. PILT stands for Payment in Lieu of Taxes. And what that means is that particular county, the vast majority of their lands are under public ownership by the federal government. And so their county budget actually almost depends more on these payments from the federal government than it does on regular property taxes like you all pay as part of your lands. And so this difference is notable because when you talk to other county supervisors, their partner is the federal government. They have one partner that they go to when they want to talk about forest management. We have thousands. And I want to kind of direct your attention to some of these wonderful graphics that we have up there. 93% of our forest lands are in parcels that are under 100 acres. So not only are we a unicorn because we have so much private ownership over our forest, but we're also a unicorn because it is so small, which means that we can't get anything done if we don't work with one another. And that's actually sort of my third thesis as to why we are a unicorn in Sonoma County. When I talk to other supervisors, they're like, what's the magic that you guys have? I don't understand how you can sit in a room and you know all the CAL FIRE chiefs. You have your tribal chairs in the room at the table. You have private property owners. You have your ag and open space district. You have your regional parks. You have all of your local fire districts. It's pretty phenomenal, the level of collaboration and coordination that we have in Sonoma County, because I believe that we have a common goal, especially after 2017, when we all went through something that collectively motivated us to start talking to our neighbors and to start working on solutions. And so the last thing that I will mention, because I do serve the county and we kind of have to do a little bit of self-promotion, right? Which is that when we received the PG&E settlement funds from those 2017 wildfires, we did something pretty amazing, which was that we pushed that money back into vegetation management so that hopefully we would not experience something like 2017 again. And rather than doing it, quite frankly, based on political priorities or trying to make people happy, we did it based on data. And we got subject matter experts in the room to actually make the determinations of which projects would be funded. So I think it's pretty amazing that you are all here and that we have such a sort of collaboration and coordination across so many different types of agencies here in Sonoma County. And it's one of the reasons that I absolutely love working here. I'm going to leave you all with a challenge, but I'm going to ask you a few questions first. Can you raise your hand if you drove fewer than 10 minutes to get here this morning? All right, we've got some super locals. Raise your hand if you drove between 10 and 30 minutes to get here this morning. That's me. All right, there we go. What about 30 minutes to an hour to get here? Raise your hand. What about an hour to 2 hours? All right, and what about over 2 hours? I've got a few. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming here, by the way, for driving all the way here. My challenge to you is go and find a neighbor. Right? Take the time to actually introduce yourself. I know it's a little bit awkward, but hey, after the pandemic, we could all use some more friends. And so try to see what you might have in common, because it's only by working together and working collectively that we can actually achieve our common goals. So thank you all so much for joining us this morning. And I'm pleased to be with a group of unicorns and look forward to the rest of the day.